Matthew, you've delivered a wonderful paper to our consultation on adolescence and joy, and one of the really interesting parts of your paper was your description of adolescent exuberance. What do you understand to be the constituent elements and sources of this exuberance, and what does this adolescent exuberance have to do with adolescent joy?
Yeah, so the way I conceive of joy as a Christian is that it's something within us that responds to seeing God in certain things. It's the image of God within us that also has this creative capacity that God does to engage in activities and endeavors that are going to be creative and reflect these amazing possibilities that He's given us. And so in adolescence is when kind of the most rapid development of these capacities coming online happens. And so, for instance, it's the time of life when memory retention is at its best, capacity to learn new things is at its best. And so what we find is that many adolescents are very intellectually curious. They're, as I mentioned before, executive functioning is coming online, so they have better abstract reasoning. This whole new world opens up for them to be able to explore. And so I see joy coming in as adolescents realize that they have these capacities and they take great delight in exploring the freedom and the newness of them. And I think that that is a fine psychological description, and the spiritual description is really just there's a resonance in our being whenever we kind of are using our being to link up to the way God intended, or to link up to God Himself. Another fine example is when, as I mentioned before, our theory of mind capacities come online. And so here's where individuals are developing kind of deeper capacities for empathy and inferring others' mental states, projecting themselves into feeling what it's like to walk in somebody else's shoes. And I think you can feel much deeper human bonding with other people, and this is the kind of relational aspects that God has created us for. We attain deep joy in that, and also you know their bodies are changing a lot, and that comes with all kinds of tumultuous hormonal drives and urges. And so the real question for joy there is going to be kind of how those are oriented. Are they going to be oriented towards my body is changing rapidly, I have all these drives and new capacities with them, and I will use that in a way that honors God, and kind of as I engage in something that will draw me more towards Him, honors Him, and I it's because it's what my capacities are intended for, I gain joy out of it. Or are they going to use it kind of toward their more selfish inclinations, or towards using them in the wrong context, not that they were made for? And that obviously would be a huge hindrance for joy, which we see a lot.